The answer to Oak Island is 2,000 miles away, and Season 13 Episode 22 of The Curse of Oak Island just showed us exactly where to look. Welcome back. I am your host. This is the Peconic Channel, and right now, before I say another word about what happened in Episode 22, I want you to do one thing. Look down at the subscribe button. Tap it. Because what we are about to cover in this video is the most complete, most evidence-supported breakdown of the Season 13 Oak Island story that exists on YouTube. Every discovery, every lab result, every date, every connection, and if you want to follow the final stretch of Season 13 the way it deserves to be followed, you need to be subscribed. Tap it, tap the bell, and let's go. Season 13, Episode 22 of The Curse of Oak Island is titled Road Trip, and the official summary delivers something that no previous Oak Island episode summary has ever said. New revelations are made about the sand and stone road in the swamp, as a discovery in the money pit suggests that answers to the Oak Island mystery may be found over 2,000 miles away. 2,000 miles. Think about that for a second. This is not a theory. This is not a researcher standing in the war room drawing lines on a map. This is a physical discovery, pulled from the ground inside the money pit, that the team and its scientific experts have traced to a specific geographic and organizational origin 2,000 miles from Nova Scotia. The answer is not on the island, the answer is out there, and Season 13 just opened the door. But I need you to stay with me all the way through this video, because I am going to walk you through the complete picture, and I am going to show you what the evidence is pointing toward and why it rewrites everything we thought we knew about who came to Oak Island and when. Do not leave early. The best information is in the second half of this video. I saved it there specifically because you deserve to hear the full picture, not just the headline. So stay with me. Before we go anywhere else, quick favor. This channel takes serious time and research to produce. If you get value from these breakdowns, share this video with one Oak Island fan you know. Right now, copy the link, text it, post it. The Oak Island community is everywhere and most people following Season 13 have not found a channel that covers it this deeply. You can change that for someone today. Share it. Now let's get into what Episode 22 actually delivered. The 2,000-mile lead from the money pit does not exist in isolation. It is the latest point on a line that Season 13 has been drawing since its first episode. And to understand where that line is pointing, you need to understand the full body of evidence this season has assembled. Because Episode 22 is not a standalone discovery. It is the moment 22 episodes of evidence arrive at a single geographic destination. I am going to take you through the 4 pillars of Season 13's case: the swamp, the money pit, Lot 8, and the research. And I am going to show you how each one has been pointing at the same organization, the same era, and now, the same location 2,000 miles away. Let's start with the swamp, because the swamp is where the most ancient and the most specific dating evidence in the entire Season 13 investigation lies. The Oak Island swamp is not natural. That has been confirmed across multiple seasons. It was deliberately created, flooded to conceal the construction at its edges and beneath its surface. And in Season 13 the evidence for how old that construction is has become extraordinary. Professor Adriano Gaspini, the Italian archaeoastronomer whose analysis of Nolan's cross produced a peer-reviewed published result, applied the same methodology to the octagonal survey stakes found in the swamp this season. His conclusion: the stakes share stellar alignments with Nolan's cross consistent with a 13th century construction date. The same stars, the same builders, the same century, and the carbon-14 dating confirmed it. Leather shoe fragments recovered from deep within the peat layer of the northern swamp, featuring hobnail holes rather than stitching, consistent with early European footwear, returned a primary carbon-14 date range of 1148 to 1216 AD, with some readings extending as far back as 1047. The leather is potentially over 800 years old. Someone walked in that swamp in the 12th or early 13th century, wearing European boots with a specific construction method that matches Iberian and French medieval military footwear. And Craig Tester was sufficiently stunned by the results to send the samples back to Beta Analytical for additional cleaning and retesting to confirm them. A European hand cannon recovered from the swamp area this season was confirmed as potentially dating to the 1200s. A hand cannon, a firearm, in the Oak Island swamp from the 1200s. That is pre-Columbus by nearly 3 centuries. That is contemporary contemporary with the Knights Templar at the height of their power. The paired survey stakes Rick Lagina found in episode 20, 5-sided and 8-sided markers set together for the first time, discovered in 2 identical pairings with a third predicted and found at precisely 21 feet, running northwest toward the center of the swamp. Gaspini analyzed the orientation of the 8-sided stakes with sub-tenth of a degree precision, and found their alignment matches the setting of Deneb, the primary star of the Cygnus constellation, the same celestial reference encoded in Nolan's Cross, the star that dates the construction to the year 1200, and the cobblestone road they line, the road that runs northwest, the road that was constructed in the swamp sometime in or around the 13th century, the road that episode 22 is now revealing new information about, information that connects it to the Money Pit discovery, pointing 2,000 miles away. Real quick, I want to take a breath here and say something directly. If you just found this channel through this video, welcome. This is what we do here. Full evidence breakdowns, verified sources, no speculation dressed as fact. Every date, every lab result, every scientific confirmation. If that is what you have been looking for in an Oak Island channel, the subscribe button is waiting for you. Tap it. The bell too. I post every week. You will not miss another episode's breakdown. Now the Money Pit. Because what the drilling campaign in season 13 recovered from deep underground is what makes episode 22 the pivot point of the entire season. 3 7-foot diameter caisson shafts were sunk this season, pushing past 210 feet. Deeper than any previous excavation in Oak Island history. The first 2 shafts, including the TPF-1 caisson which seized up at just 25 feet before being relocated, produced 17th and 18th century artifacts, but no valuables. The team then shifted operations to the Peacock, the zone named by Marty Lagina where Dr. Ian Spooner and Dr. Krista Michael have for years detected gold and silver in underground water samples. Core drilling earlier in the season revealed a 10-foot void at 150 feet in the Peacock area. An underwater camera deployed into that void captured images of possible man-made metallic objects inside it, reinforcing the theory of an offset treasure chamber once physically connected to the original Money Pit. The third shaft, Peacock 1, was excavated, with Terry Matheson confirming bedrock at 211 feet and the solution channel extending from the surface down to roughly 165 feet. What came up from those depths included sinking wood, iron and chain from depths no previous searcher has reached. A drill rod fragment from 174 to 178 feet matched to the 1849 Truo Company operation. The dig when James Pidblotto reportedly concealed a 14th century Portuguese coin from his colleagues. The same zone, the same depths, the same underground environment. And now, in episode 22, a discovery from that zone that points 2,000 miles across the ocean. Let me be transparent about something here. The specific object recovered in episode 22 that generates the 2,000-mile lead has not been fully detailed in pre-air summaries. What we know from the official description is that it is a discovery from the Money Pit area and that it is connected to the new revelations about the Swampstone Road. Whatever the team found, its composition, its iconography, its isotopic signature, its construction characteristics, is specific enough for the team's scientific experts to trace its origin to somewhere 2,000 miles from Nova Scotia. That is the kind of specificity that comes from laboratory analysis, isotope testing, elemental composition matching, the kind of provenance work that Emma Culligan, Dr. Spooner, and the team's broader scientific network have been performing on every significant artifact and sample this season. 2,000 miles east of Nova Scotia places you in the mid-Atlantic. 2,000 miles east and south gets you to the Azores. The Azorian archipelago, 9 volcanic islands, 900 miles west of the Portuguese coast, sitting in the Atlantic like a navigational waypoint on the route from Europe to the New World. And episode 23, Island Hopping, has Rick Lagina traveling to the Azores to uncover new ties between Oak Island and the Portuguese sect of the Knights Templar. The Money Pit discovery in episode 22 sends Rick there, and what he finds there is going to close the chain. But I am getting ahead of myself. Let me give you the Lot 8 pillar first, because the Lot 8 evidence is what makes the 2,000-mile connection credible rather than speculative. Lot 8, the 40,000-pound boulder raised in episode 16. The man-made stone platform beneath it, confirmed by Emma Culligan and Dr. Spooner as dating to between the post-1200s and pre-1800s. Not the 1700s, not the 1600s. Post-1200s. Consistent with the swamp leather. Consistent with the Gascony stellar dating. Consistent with the Templar dissolution era, and the centuries of Portuguese Templar successor activity that followed it. The fire-setting chemistry. Lead concentrations 11 times the island baseline, migrating through ash and coal in the pattern of controlled underground burning. Medieval engineering. The blue-gray clay and charcoal mortar binding the stone feature. The same composition as the blue clay found at 40 feet in the original money pit, at the Lot 5 structure, and at Nolan's Cross. One construction program. One waterproofing system, deployed across multiple sites by the same organization. The Leeds bag seal, now precisely dated by Emma Culligan to 1662 to 1726, placing it in the post-dissolution period when Templar successor organizations were active in the North Atlantic. The same era as the Military Order of Christ's most intensive Azorian and North Atlantic operations. And the 700-year-old description applied earlier in the season was based on preliminary assessment, the refined lab dating placing it in the 17th to early 18th century period, which shifts the Lot 8 activity from Templar dissolution era to Templar successor era. Different layer, same construction program, multi-generational deposit, and then the mortar. Emma Culligan narrowed the date range of the Lot 8 stone platform's binding material to between post-1200s and pre-1800s, a range that encompasses both the 13th century construction dated by the swamp stakes and the 17th-18th century deposit dated by the bag seal. Multiple construction events, multiple time periods, the same island, the same system. This is the picture Season 13 is assembling. Oak Island was not visited once. It was visited repeatedly, across centuries, by organizations that understood what was already there and built upon it. The swamp construction goes back to the 1200s. The money pit flood tunnels to an uncertain but pre-1795 date. The Lot 8 stone platform to the medieval to early modern range. The Peacock Zone deposit to whatever depth the drill reached this season. Layered, deliberate, multi-generational. And now the research tells us where the most recent layer came from. I am almost at the destination now. But first, if you are watching this on a phone and you have been with me through the evidence build, you are exactly the kind of viewer this channel was built for. You want the full picture. You want the science and the history together. Tap subscribe right now. It is a 1-second action that keeps this kind of content in your feed every week. And hit the thumbs up on this video. It tells YouTube this content is worth showing to more people. And it helps the channel reach more Oak Island fans who are following Season 13 as closely as you are. Now the research. Because the research pillar of Season 13 is what ultimately connects everything to the 2,000-mile destination. Charlotte Wheatley's 4 years of work on the Zenahappern map led to the 3 St. Radegund churches in the Thomond region of France, all dedicated to St. Radegund, all bearing the 4. Templar cross, all aligned at 292.1 to 292.4 degrees, a bearing that extends across the Atlantic and terminates at Oak Island. These churches date to the 12th and 13th centuries, the same era as the swamp construction, the Gascony stellar dating, and the carbon-14 leather results. But the research connection that matters most for episode 22 runs through Professor Gascony's work in a direction that most coverage has not picked up on. In studying the alignment of Oak Island's features with the Bianzano Castle, a documented Templar site in northern Italy, Gascony found that the same celestial references encoded in Nolan's Cross appear in the orientation of that castle's external walls, the same star alignments, the same construction tradition, and Gascony connected that tradition to the Ebitor, a specific navigational instrument described in the Cremona documents that could guide a vessel across the Atlantic on a fixed route, and could also have been used to lay out Nolan's Cross on the ground. The Ebitor is the key. The Cremona documents, encrypted materials decoded by researcher Donald Rule, describe a navigational instrument used to cross the Atlantic on a specific heading. That heading, combined with the Gascony stellar analysis, the Charlotte Wheatley church alignment, and the specific geographic coordinates of both the 3 French churches and the Azorian island chain, produces a route, a medieval transatlantic route, starting in France or Portugal, passing through the Azores as a waypoint, arriving at Oak Island. The sand and stone road in the swamp runs northwest. The cobblestone causeway points toward the center of the island, but the money being found in the Peacock Zone is pointing east, back across the water, toward the place the builders came from. Episode 22 reveals new information about the swamp road. New revelations, plural, And those revelations, combined with whatever came out of the Peacock Zone in the Money Pit, give the team a geographic lead so specific that it generates a road trip. The trip is to the Azores. Here is the complete picture of what Season 13 has built and where Episode 22 places the investigation. The swamp construction dates to 1148 to 1216 AD, based on carbon-14 testing of leather. The octagonal stakes share stellar alignments with Nolan's cross consistent with 1200 to 1300 AD, based on Professor Gaspini's peer-reviewed analysis. The European hand cannon from the swamp dates to the 1200s. The stone road runs northwest, toward Lot 8, toward the Money Pit. The Lot 8 stone platform dates to post-1200s through pre-1800s based on the mortar analysis. 3 7-foot shafts in the Money Pit pushed past 210 feet. An underwater camera confirmed possible man-made metallic objects and a 10-foot void at 150 feet in the Peacock. A drill rod confirmed the 1849 Pit Blotto incident at 174 to 178 feet. The Money Pit discovery in Episode 22 points 2,000 miles away. Episode 23 Island Hopping sends Rick Lagina to the Azores to uncover new ties between Oak Island and the Portuguese sect of the Knights Templar, the Military Order of Christ, the organization that inherited the Templar mission after 1312, that sailed the North Atlantic under Prince Henry the Navigator, a Grand Master of the Order, that had bases in the Azores from the earliest period of Portuguese Atlantic exploration, that used the Ebitor and instruments like it to cross the ocean on fixed headings. The answer to Oak Island is in the Azores, and Season 13 is going there to get it. The final episodes of Season 13 are going to deliver something this show has never delivered in 13 seasons. Not just new discoveries, not just more evidence, a complete picture. Source organization, transatlantic route, construction timeline, underground deposit, all confirmed by physical evidence, laboratory analysis, and peer-reviewed science. Subscribe right now and hit the notification bell. Episode 23 drops next week and the breakdown will be live the moment it airs. Drop your comment below. What do you think Rick Lagina is going to find in the Azores? I read every single comment and I will be featuring the best theories in the Episode 23 breakdown. The answer is 2,000 miles away. Rick is going to get it. And after 231 years, Season 13 is about to rewrite history.